Hello, welcome to the Woe Factor cast, where we put the woe in woman. So, hello, my name is Holly Hartman, and I am the host for today. I am the CMO and the co founder of the Woe Network. And today we're creating the Woe Factor effect when women are transforming the business world. And I am so excited for our guest today, Katie Foster. She is a bookkeeping master, and I can't wait for her to hear a lot more about her business and what she's doing, but also how she can help you in your business to elevate your business, because she has this passion and fire that I can't wait for us to dig into. So, Katie, will you introduce yourself to the listeners and let them know about who you are and how you got into the business that you do?
Yes. Hi, Holly, and hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. So just a little bit about me. I am a mom of two beautiful boys, married to my husband for going on 12 years. And honestly, I stumbled onto bookkeeping when I was 19. I was working for a large company, and one of the managers saw potential in me and was like, "Hey, I really want to bring you into the back office. I want to train you. I think that you're perfect for the role." And I had only been with the company for 6 months, and I was 19. Nobody knows what they want to do at 19. Like, some do, but not a lot of 19-year-olds do. And so I was like, "Okay, sure." And that was it. Like, that's my passion. Like, I just fell in love with it. For me, the numbers and the data for bookkeeping is like a puzzle. And it can just show you a really good picture. And so I really use that opportunity to grow, to expand my knowledge. I've worked in several different aspects of bookkeeping over the last 20 years. And I it just makes me smile. Like, obviously, it just makes me smile.
I love it. I love your energy about the thing that I am not a fan of. And a lot of bookkeepers don't put themselves out there. So I'm so glad that you said yes to coming here
Yes.
and talking about this subject that we as women entrepreneurs and business professionals, we need to know what to do with this, how to hire a bookkeeper,
Mhm.
what should we do in our business. And so I'm so delighted that you're on, and we'll just have a conversation. And if
Yeah.
something comes up, feel free to share, or we'll navigate this. But I've got a few questions for you. So
Okay.
um, you've had a big shift, though. So you were in that space, but you've transitioned recently. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that transition?
Sure. So, through my journey with different roles for bookkeeping, I landed a job in corporate that I absolutely loved. It was fully remote work from home, great environment, great people. It really expanded who I am as a person, but also who I am as a professional. But unfortunately, I was laid off because of the economy. They had to lay me off, and it was pretty devastating. Like, I was shook. I did not see it coming. I did not expect it, and it was like the rug was pulled out from underneath of me. And I've never been in that situation. I've been working since I was 15. So in 25 years, I have never been laid off, never been fired. And it really was like a crossroads moment for me. Like, what am I going to do next? I'm looking at all these other corporate jobs for bookkeepers, and accountants, and I just didn't really have a lot of passion in any of them. I just wasn't feeling it. And so I had to really kind of take a step back. And for me, I'm a person who believes everything happens for a reason, even bad things, because even bad things in the moment, when you look at them 2, 3 years down the road, they were like the best blessing.
Mhm.
And so for me, it's like, I know the life that I want to have. I know the life that I want to create. How can I achieve that goal? And how can I make my mark?
Mhm.
How can what I do be relevant, and how can I help people? And so it was really just, it was very organic. And I was sitting down and I was thinking about it and I was praying about it. And I was like, maybe I should just start my own bookkeeping business. Like, maybe I should just take on clients and just be my own boss and help people in the way that I want to make a mark, and help others grow their business and be successful by showing them what their numbers can do for them. And so that's how Foster Bookkeeping and Consulting was born.
Love it. I love it. You took the lemons and made a big old thing of lemonade.
Yes. Well, and I'll tell you the biggest moment for me that I knew that this was the right decision. I was talking to my oldest son. My kids are 7 and 1, and I was talking to my 7-year-old, and he had asked me. He was like, how's the jobs going? Have you found a job? And I was like, well. I was like, buddy, I'm kind of thinking about going in this direction. And I told him, that I was wanting to start my own business. And his face just lit up
Mm.
so much. And he was like, Mommy, I think that is the best idea. So just seeing his faith in me and seeing that I have shown him the
Yeah.
kind of person I am and how I work and how much faith he has in me, it was just like, yep, this is it. Like, this is the right move.
Oh, I love it. I just got cold chills. That's so
Yeah.
precious.
It was definitely a defining moment. I was like, okay, God gives you those little nudges. And that was definitely a nudge for me. Like, I am making the right decision. This is the path.
Oh, seems like a sweet, intuitive kid too, to
Yeah.
know what you needed for your support. So
Yeah.
I love it. So let's talk about maybe some common mistakes or misconceptions people have about bookkeeping. Like if they think like bookkeeper, they might think CPA or whatever. Like, how are you different than maybe some of the other financial professionals, and why would it benefit them to have you?
So one of the big misconceptions is that a bookkeeper does taxes.
Mhm.
And so I am not a CPA. That may be something that I explore later on down the road. At this particular point in my venture, I'm just not really interested in taxes. It's a lot. So, but what I do is I do the gritty work, so to
Mhm.
speak. Like, I get in there for the daily financials, I prepare the monthly reportings, I show you a picture of how your business did in the previous month and give you ideas and recommendations on things that you could do to continue to grow or to change your path. And then at the end of the year, you have this beautiful financial report that's done for you that you can then take to your CPA. And I do network with CPAs. I have connections with CPAs to help you if you don't have a CPA, to help you get connected. But also, like, if you already have a CPA, I communicate with your CPA and, like, I just took over these books. Okay, is there something that you need me to adjust in the books that will make your job easier? Or do you see something that you're identifying? Because not a lot of CPAs do bookkeeping, just like not a lot of bookkeepers do tax work.
Yeah.
So it's really good to build those relationships when you're working, because what I do is going to have an impact on what they do, and what they do is going to have an impact on what I do. Um, so that's probably the biggest one. I get asked that a lot. Do you do taxes? No, I do not do taxes, but I do all the other stuff to get you ready for taxes.
Yeah, well, that's actually probably the harder part. Is that part
Yeah,
is to get to collect that. That's probably what they think they need, but they're calling it something different.
yeah, yeah.
To go along. So when you have been creating this business, this shift for yourself, who do you envision working with? Like, what size businesses, and who are the people that you have already worked with that you really want to keep working with?
I really like working with service-based businesses. I don't know why. I just really enjoy it. I like to see the different services that are offered, and just to see, like, especially people who I've known for a long time. And so I know where their business started, and now I can see where their business is. It's just, I really like working in the service industry. I have a broad range though, so I can work with anybody. And something about me is, like, if I'm not a right fit for you, I'm going to tell you that I'm not a right fit for you. If you set up a meeting with me and we have a consultation and we do a discovery call, and I'm like, I don't think that I'm the right fit for you, I'm just going to say that. Because my ultimate goal is, I just want your business to be successful. I want you to have a bookkeeper. I want you to have somebody that's going to help give you that financial picture. And maybe that's not me.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
I love that. That's that abundance mindset and finding the right fit for
Yeah.
everybody. And I think as women leaders, we really need to lean into that we, as much as we want to be all things for all people, that's not really sustainable and it's not really realistic. And being able to then promote other people and
Yeah.
elevate other businesses, even if they're competition, but they're not really competition because you're not right people, but they can be for somebody else, and that energy comes back to.
It does. Well, and I think, when you talk about competition, like, Yes, they may work in the same field and they do the same work, but there's enough business to go around for everyone. And
Absolutely.
so I would rather work in partnership with other bookkeepers and
Mhm.
CPAs and share that knowledge. I'm in several networking groups for bookkeepers, and you get a lot from that, like building those connections and just, hearing other people's perspectives and experiences. You get a lot from that. And so I don't really like to be closed-minded in that way. Just for me, I like to share. I like to share the abundance. I like what you said there.
Mhm.
And and the other types of businesses that I'm really drawn to are women-owned businesses.
Yeah.
I, I think women are doing amazing things in the world of business right now. And so to be able to be there to partner with women-owned businesses and share their passion and help them grow their passion, that really calls to me as well.
Absolutely. So some information's coming down for me, and it's something that I love that that's your passion. And the first time we met, I could feel that just
Yeah.
oozing out of you in just such a beautiful way of like, oh, you're my people. Like have the similar values of like let's help each other, let's raise each other up, let's
Yes.
rise together. So I love that, but I also know the other side where there's a lot of fear for people to like give over their numbers and money and all of that. So how do you overcome some of that when you're working with your clients?
Well, I think the biggest thing is for them to know that I am like their little cheerleader, so to speak, in their corner. Like I'm not there to judge their numbers. I'm not there to criticize. And they may be somebody that wants to have control of their books and they just need a little bit of help. And so that's another thing that I offer that
Yes.
is a little bit different and unique. You may be a person who is able to do your bookkeeping, you just need some guidance. So I offer training services, or you may have somebody on your team already that has the potential that you just need me to come in and help support and
Mm.
train. And so, because like I said, I might not be the bookkeeper for you. Maybe you have somebody in mind and that person just needs help. I
That's
just want to help you. So I think just kind of not treating them just like they're a business, understanding the passion behind their business, the why behind their business, where they want their business to go, and then just showing them what I do, talking to them about what I do. I'm not here to judge, I'm not here to criticize, I'm here to help. So you tell me how I can help you, and let's see if we can make that happen. Is pretty much my approach.
I love that. Well, we need safe containers. We talk a lot about that at the WOA Network, creating safe containers, and it sounds like that's what you're doing in your business and for your clients to
Yes.
be able to meet them where they're at, and whether it's for full white glove service or if it's for just touch points,
Yes.
help along the way and train other people. I love that you offer that because not a lot of other businesses do, and so I think that's what's going to make your business much more unique in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not really a service that I've seen offered, and for me, I just, if I can help somebody advance themselves professionally, with my knowledge and experience, I always get something back from that. Like, I am offering my knowledge and my experience to that person, but I'm gaining something back in that relationship. It's just more growth. I really growth mindset rather than the fixed mindset. And so it's just a wonderful collaboration and experience for me.
No, I love that. So we might have some newer entrepreneurs, solopreneurs on here listening that are like, "Oh, I know I need one. I need to start, and I'm scared to even get started." Maybe somebody that is just getting started. What are some tips you have for somebody in their business that like, what would a bookkeeper ask for? What would they want to bring to a meeting to go, "This is what my numbers are"? Because some people don't even know that.
And some people don't. Like some people know as much as this is what I made and this is what I spent. And that's a great start. There is nothing wrong with that start. The difference, so a bookkeeper can then break those expenses down for you and show you where you're spending your money. So an example I use all the time because it's the easiest one because you can spend a lot of money here and not get a lot of return on investment is advertising. It's
Mhm.
very expensive and you can spend a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that broken down into your expenses, You don't know what that's actually doing to your revenue. Also, if you have a multiple revenue stream, if you're only just tracking what you're bringing in and you don't know what each stream is bringing in, you don't know how to target your business. So if you know this is what I made and this is what I spend, that's enough. We can work with that. The other thing that I would say for new business owners, because this happens a lot, is please, please, please have a separate banking account for your business. Do not mix your personal and your business. It gets messy and it's just a whole lot easier if you have those divided. You can still pay yourself whatever you want to pay yourself. Like that's your business, that's your choice, but just keep them separate.
That's very wise. Some words to the words of wisdom for sure. How can businesses benefit from outsourcing the bookkeeping?
So it really can save you money. So if you have someone on your payroll, and I'm not saying firing don't go fire the person that's on your payroll that might be doing your books. Don't do that. But maybe you can allocate that person somewhere else and you can outsource your bookkeeping and save money, because for my services, you're just paying me your monthly rate that I quote you. I'm not on your payroll, so you're not paying all the payroll taxes on me. You're not having to pay to a payroll company whatever percentage your payroll company charges you. So it's money that you can actually gain back in your payroll allocation if you do have people on your payroll. And then you can shift your resources inside your business. Maybe your person is better designed for something else, or you have something else in mind. But additionally, bookkeepers can find things in your finances that are not working for you so that you can see. So I'll go back to advertising. If you're spending $1,000 a month on your advertising, and we take a look at that over the course of 6 months and your business revenue has not increased, or maybe it's decreased, then you know that your advertising expense is not working in your favor. It's not benefiting your business. And that's just one way. Another client of mine owns a concession business, and they were going around town to Sam's and Costco and GFS, and nothing against those companies. I shop there often. I love them. But for a business aspect, there are other companies that you can get on their ordering system and order from much cheaper. And sometimes they will even give you equipment that you can use because you're ordering from them. And so you've just saved yourself expenses on equipment, but you've also saved yourself on inventory, and you've reduced all of the traveling all over town to try to scramble to get what you need. So those are just a couple different examples, but there are many benefits to having a bookkeeper to help your business make smart financial decisions.
Wow. Sounds like a really nice strategy session too. Like, you might want to look here. It's different vantage points. Like oftentimes we'll get caught up in the day-to-day grind and then not always get a chance to look at it from different vantage points. So having a fresh set of eyes looking at it and going, have you considered? This is what I'm seeing. And having somebody on the pulse of that could really benefit your business in lots of ways.
Yes. Well, and it's very different when you're in the trenches, so to speak. You're just in there running your business. That's what you're passionate about. I'm passionate about your numbers. So if you have somebody who's passionate about your numbers on the backside, that's kind of looking over your shoulder, so to speak, and, giving you tips of, hey, this increased quite a bit and we're not really seeing a lot of return on it. Maybe that's something to look at. Or you outsourced a project for $20,000, but you only made $10,000 on that project. Well, that wasn't really beneficial to you. So it's just different things that a bookkeeper can show you, just to kind of give you that extra set of eyes that's a little bit more objective. And it's just wonderful. It's just a wonderful benefit.
Sounds like you're like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where you're just like finding these little, well, maybe not that movie, but like you're finding these golden nuggets to like, ta-da, we just found some treasure, like you didn't know it existed. And
it's so rewarding too. Like when I find those little nuggets, I'm like, here we go. Like it's a numerical puzzle is what it is. Like it's just, for me, looking at it, it's like a puzzle that I have to figure out. And it's so wonderful and enjoyable.
I love that. As a coach, I have those similar experiences, but not with numbers. So
Not with
I
numbers, yes.
feel you in that when you feel those breakthroughs are happening or the things that shift. And so I love that. Back into like the trust factor, because financial people, it can be unsettling sometimes to put
Yes.
some of these numbers out there. How do you help keep the client's financial records accurate and up to date and safe and secure?
Yes. So I have cybersecurity protections that I use because I do work remotely, and so I have cybersecurity protections in place. I also, when clients sign on for me, they get an NDA from me saying that I'm not going to disclose their data. I'm not sharing their numbers with anybody. I have safe and secure data sharing sites where they can share data with me. I go out of my way to make sure that my clients' information is safe because I know how important safety in my numbers is to me, and I want to make sure that I honor that with my customers as well. Um, so, um, but then also, just like when you were talking about the trust factor, is I'm just me. Like, I'm not going to use all the big accounting jargon when I talk to people. I try to word it and phrase it in a way that it can be understood by anyone who is receiving the information. And if you work with me, you're just getting me. Like, this is me. I'm just going to talk to you. I'm going to find out the ins and outs. I'm going to find out what you're concerned about, and we're just going to go from there. And we can take baby steps or we can take giant steps. It's really can be designed and customized for the customer's pacing because it is very fearful. And there is a lot of fear associated with bringing somebody in to work with your numbers. And it is a trust thing. I am who I am. I'm very open about myself. But there is a trust that has to be built there. And so I just try really hard to keep all my clients at ease so that they understand that, they're going to get exactly what I'm telling them that they're going to get when they sign with me.
No, I love that. So do you work with people remotely, or do you meet with them in person, or how does that work?
It's kind of a mix. Kind of a mix. If they're local to Louisville, I've had several clients actually where I've met with them in person just to kind of talk to them and see their books in the current standings. But I also have a couple of remote clients who are not in Louisville, and so we just over Zoom or Google Meet and then email, text, that kind of thing. I've been working remotely since 2020 with just a little bit of in person in there in between. So I have a really good established system for working remotely, but like I said, I have kind of a hybrid mix and then I have fully remote. So,
I love that. Now, can you help people outside of, I know you said outside of Louisville, but like in other states, or
oh,
is
yes.
it like, okay, I wasn't sure if it's certification state by state or not.
Yes. So for bookkeeping, you don't, the certifications are not state specific. It's pretty standard across the board for like the requirements and everything. So yeah, I can help any business anywhere.
Oh, I love
Pretty
that. That's
awesome.
awesome. Very, very cool. Well, so anything else that comes to mind, and I'm going to ask you what your favorite book is here in a second, but that maybe a business owner that I didn't ask, that a business owner might need to know if they're wanting to hire a bookkeeper, if we didn't already touch on it, or do you feel like we've?
So I would just say if you're going to hire a bookkeeper, do your due diligence. Like, I go off of how I feel when I am talking to someone. Like, I know if I'm going to connect well with someone. And if you don't feel comfortable, it's okay to shop around for a bookkeeper because you want to have a bookkeeper that you feel comfortable talking to, that's answering your questions, that you feel safe and secure that they're going to do what they need to do for you. And so it's okay for you to talk to a bookkeeper and be like, I see the value, but I'm not really clicking. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't stop. Like, get a bookkeeper for your business, even if it's a little bit of time a month that you're utilizing that bookkeeper. Get a bookkeeper for your business, even if it's just consulting with one to get a handle and seeing what kind of help they can provide for you. So that would be the only thing I would throw in there.
I love that. I think that's great. So I have always loved to ask people, what is their favorite book or something that's inspired them lately that maybe the listeners might be able to pick up and learn as well?
So I'm going to share one that I absolutely love, but I do want to put out the warning.
Mhm.
So it's Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, I love
And I definitely recommend, if you read that book, download it on audiobook because he narrates it.
that. Yes.
And it is wonderful. But I
Uh-huh.
will also warn you that if you listen to it on audiobook, do not listen to it in the earshot of children
Oh, yeah.
because he is very free with his language
Mhm.
and he's very open about his life as well. So there is a little bit of explicit content in there.
Yeah.
But I really love his his insight and his mentality about even like no's can become yeses, and how, you can determine the path of your life if you just shift your mindset and if you go after what you want. And
Mhm.
so the message in his book is wonderful. But like I said, I have to put out that little disclaimer because the first time I read it, I was like, oh, okay. And but I've listened to it twice now, and I probably will listen. Like every time I feel like I need a little kick in the pants, I will listen to that book because it's very it's just very inspiring for me. So that would be the book that I would recommend. But I did put those disclaimers out there, so don't say you weren't warned.
No, I love that. I think that's great. And it is a great book. And to listen to him is that
Oh,
makes for the car ride just so much better. So yeah.
yes, it does. He does have a very nice voice, and he narrates it well, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, he's a
So
good storyteller for sure.
yes, yeah,
And releases some of that shame of the things we experience, and looking at, like you said, taking those no's and turn them into yeses, or that green light. And I can see that from just the brief interactions that you and I have made. Like, you've had those green lights with
yes,
coming into your business and what you're doing, and and you're talking about that energy exchange and how you feel with somebody. And
yeah,
I felt an instant connection with you when we first met in person at one of the networking meetings. And I'm just super excited for watching your business soar, because you have a similar passion to help other women business owners, and
yes.
and helping us all rise together. So I really appreciate your time coming on today. But before we go, any final thoughts? And then also, how do they connect with you? How can they get a consultation? What does that look like?
So I am on Facebook at Foster Bookkeeping and Consulting. I'm on Instagram, which I am very new to Instagram. So, but Katie Foster FBC on Instagram. And then my email is katie.foster@fbcfinance.com. So those are probably the easiest ways to get in touch with me. And even if you're still a little nervous, a little scared, it's all right. It's all right. I'm still going to be here. So even if you just want to say hi and just chat a little bit and get a little bit of thoughts, that's fine too. We don't have to necessarily schedule a discovery call and start diving into your business. I'm happy to just connect at first if that's what you're more comfortable with.
I love it. I love it. Well, Katie, thank you so much for being on today. Really appreciate that, and thank you to the listeners that stayed with us throughout this episode. And we'll just say, keep unlocking your potential of the whoa factor, and we'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Holly.
Thanks.